In this video, we're going to be troubleshooting a broken turn signal in a 1960 to 66 Chevy or GMC CK truck. Hello, my name is Sean. I'm with the Brothers Workshop, and this is Fern, my 1966 Chevrolet C10, and her turn signal is broken. So we're going to dive into troubleshooting exactly what's wrong with it and step by step how to fix it. First thing we're going to do is assess what's going on with our truck, and for that we're just going to turn it on real quick, snuff for the electrical. I'm going to show you guys. So our turn signal works. The left and the right, you guys can see up in these corners, but when you turn the wheel, it takes a minute for this guy to cut off. And if you can hear, it's not showing that it's still working, but little do you know, in the back, the turn signal is still working. Now that we know we have an issue with the turn signal because the front one is off and the back one is still on, we'll go ahead, turn it off manually until we hear the clicking stop, or we see that the turn signal is turned off. I can actually see it bouncing off the reflection in the rear view mirror here. So we've turned it off. The next step is to disconnect the battery because we're going to be working with the electrical system and we don't want to hurt ourselves. Once we have the battery disconnected, we could go ahead and remove the horn. Now this horn is very ornate and not standard in most C series trucks. We're only going to really have this circle piece here, but I decided to upgrade this after finding it in a junkyard. All we do is remove this top centerpiece. Now I'm able to get in there and remove it just by hand, but if you need to, you could use a flathead screwdriver or a trim tool. Now that we have the horn removed, we've exposed 3 Phillips head screws and 1 large nut. Once we have the screws undone, we could pull the trim piece out. Now we've gone ahead and exposed these parts here. Go ahead and pull them out. And that's what you're left with. We'll take our 3/4 socket and loosen her up. We can use our ratchet. That has to come off. If you need any of the tools to get this job done, go ahead and take a look in the description below. I have them all linked right there for you. Now we're going to go ahead and set up our steering wheel puller, and we have a hole here and a hole here. So these 2 holes are very important when it comes to the steering wheel puller. This is what it looks like. This is the door last version, and we're going to take the washers that come with it, the lag bolts, and pop them through just like this, and then we'll back this big guy out. Okay, and then we'll get these guys started. Just start one at a time. And here you can see that our lag bolts have been started. We can go ahead, crank them down a little bit more. We want them to be even. We'll tighten that up. Okay. Now we're going to switch to our 5/16 socket. And we literally just ratchet this down until the steering wheel comes off. I'm going to hold this at the same time. But just like that easy, the steering wheel came off. That was super easy. With everything exposed, we could take a look and see what we have going on. You could see that the turn signal indicator is just wiggling around a little bit. It's not moving the mechanism, and that's creating one of the issues I believe that we have here. So we're going to tighten this down just to test real quick using our flathead. You could also use a socket, but flathead's more than enough for this. And look, slight taps and it's working fine. The one thing that we are going to do is show you how to remove all of this, and we have to come all the way underneath here and unscrew this piece here, get it off so we can unhook the wiring that goes through here. We're looking at the underside of the steering column here, and we have 2 screws right there that have to be removed. I don't have a socket set small enough, so I'm going to be using my wrenches, and I grabbed a 1/4 inch wrench. Okay, that helped get the first one out. Now for the second. This one's a little tougher. Now that we have this part disconnected, we're going to go ahead and remove the turn signal just so you guys could see exactly how this is done. And we're going to be unscrewing it with our flathead, making sure we don't drop anything. We don't want to lose any of the parts. Once that's out, set it to the side in a safe location. Once the turn signal lever is removed, we could go ahead and remove 3 Phillips head screws. One is located here, one is located here, and finally we have one right here. Once all this is disconnected, we have to go ahead and unplug the wiring harness in the back here. Following the wires out from here, they wrap all the way around. Now I have rewired this whole truck with a Painless Precision wiring harness, but that doesn't change anything because the wiring harness is almost identical. So we just unplug it. Okay. Then we'll take the wires out, fishing them through. We've pulled the turn signal wiring out, and you can see in there that we have to spin. It's almost like a key. Spin that until it comes free. Okay. Once the housing is off, we can pull this one out of place. And this one here slides off. You have to spin the plug, but you remove the old wiring. And there's your turn signal housing. We can go ahead now and replace this. Ours, I think, is actually in good shape, so we're going to actually save this. So we're going to put it back together. So the first thing we'll do is run it through, just like we did before. Making sure we line this up correctly. We want to make sure that the turn signal lever is lined up with the hole on the side here. Now with that in mind, we'll go ahead and run this part through. If you keep the round side in towards the center, they'll go through much easier because the center is round. You won't have to fight it. Okay. Lucky for me, I could tell what side is what based upon how this was painted. So this side goes down, this side goes up. We'll run the wires through. You want to run the wires on the outside to the left so they don't get hooked. Just like before, we're going to pop all this on. Now that we have all this on, just like before, we're going to twist it. This time we're going to be locking it into place. So that right there, twisting it to the right. locks all this in place and lines up all of our screw holes to tighten everything up nicely for us. Pull this tight. Bring this guy back down in here. Go ahead and tighten that down. I'll go ahead and go underneath, tighten this up real quick. Nice thing about this is you can slide it to wherever you want it. So if you have to go down a little, you could go down a little. If you want to go up, you could go up. All this is back in. Time to plug the wiring back in. The nice thing about all this is that they're color coded. So as we swing these back into place here, up and over top of that, we just have to find the purple and black wire, which are on the bottom, and the blue and green one, which are on the top. So blue and green, go to blue and green, plug it in. Purple and black, go to purple and black, plug it in. And then we'll tuck that out of the way once we know everything works. Run the turn signal switch back through, tighten it down. Make sure your horn button didn't fall out. If it did, just pop it back on. Once we're happy, we'll go ahead and reinstall the steering wheel. We'll go ahead and remove the puller so I can see what I'm doing here. I want to line this up the best I can so where it's straight. Just like that. Now we'll go ahead and reattach the nut. The first thing that we're going to place in here is our horn contact ring. Pop that in there. Then we take our bushing. We line that up correctly. Once we have those in here, we could go ahead and put the horn insert in. Once we have that how we like it, we'll be good to pop the center cap on and we'll test it out. Go ahead and put the center cap in there. Looks good. We'll go ahead, reconnect the battery, take it for a test drive, make sure the turn signal works. And it works again. If you need any of the parts or tools to get this job done, go ahead and take a look in the description below. I've linked them right there for you. I hope you're able to learn something, and if you did, please hit that like button for me, especially if you were able to fix your truck. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel for more videos about the 1960 to 66 Chevy and GM C10, C20, C30 trucks that we all know and love. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.